Alright, Tony, we'll do another camping story. This one is without canoes, with Brian again. We were studying architectural technology at Fanshawe College, and we got lucky and happened to be there at a time when there was a Great Depression in Canada. Well, it wasn't that significant, but there was no architecture jobs for us in the summer, so we decided to pack our bags and go to the Rocky Mountains. And we spent 9 weeks out there, so obviously I can't tell it all at once, but we'll start the story with the story of the fire. And it's where could you okay, we'll start it with Brian and I had spent many days in the rain. It rained a lot on us. We even had days where it snowed on us, and this is in the middle of July. But we had finally come to a really nice camping place, and we stayed there a couple of days. It was actually private property, and the owner came by and said, "What are you doing?" And we said, "Camping." And he said, "Okay, see ya," which was kind of nice. But anyway, after that day, we started hiking up the hill, all clean and dry after washing ourselves in the river and relaxing and eating for a few days. And just about, I don't know, half an hour into our trip, it started raining again. And we had our rain jackets on, so we weren't getting wet, but of course we were hiking through some hills where there just didn't seem to be any paths after a while, and of course we started getting pretty sweaty from the inside, so we weren't being dry any old way. So we must have been hiking most of the morning and into the afternoon when we finally came to a clearing after not having any kind of path at all. And we sort of knew where we were going because we knew that there was a lake beside us, and that somewhere along the lake was another town, and we were on the way to get to the next town so we could get to the laundromat and wash our clothes again, and probably even buy some donuts and chocolate chip cookies. But that was still a long way away. And we came tired and somewhat frustrated to a very nice clearing, and in the middle of this clearing was a huge dead old log, and we decided, or probably it was my decision, I won't blame Brian on this one, that we should have a little fire to warm up and dry ourselves a little bit and have a little bit of food. I think we still had a few graham crackers, and we ate some graham crackers and whatever else we ate. And I made a little fire underneath this log so that the rain wouldn't put it out. And the rain, of course, didn't put it out, and the log was a lot more hollow than I had first anticipated. So our little fire turned into a very big fire, and there was suddenly flame coming out of both ends of the log, and civilization was still a long way away. On the other side of the lake was a road. They might have been able to see the fire, but of course they couldn't get to us without hiking through the woods to get us. So we weren't too worried about being taken into jail for our ignorance, but we ended up having to hack at this log and bust it apart for about, I don't know, an hour and a half before the fire was finally out. And that could be one of those lessons. There's a story called "Use Two Logs Crossing," and this story could be don't start a fire underneath a rotten log. Anyway, we finally get the fire out, and we were all sweaty again, and we decided to give up on our one route that we had chosen and scamper on down the hill, partly sliding and falling and crashing through the woods to come to a lake. And eventually we did get to the lake, and there was still nowhere to go. You could walk 300 or 400 meters any direction, and then it was impossible to go again. So we decided, in our frustration, first to eat our last can of beans and probably our last few graham crackers, and then set about the task of building a raft.